Okay, dear listeners, we are lucky to be sitting here tonight with Mr. Dave McGowan, one of the owners of Broughton Brewery. Thanks for being here with us tonight, Dave. Much appreciated. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and thanks very much for the invite. Looking forward to chatting about beer, as always.
Yeah, no, honestly, our pleasure. Thank you for coming on. I'm also here with Stu, who's reminded me to remind you guys that he is here as well.
No need for introduction, Tom. Everyone knows I'm here.
Apparently, I've been doing a bad job introducing him. On any career highlights you'd like to kind of offer up, Dave, that'd be very interesting. Is there anything that really kind of stands out in your time at Broughton?
I think the thing that I am most proud of, and this has not just been the case at Broughton, but at other organisations I've worked for, would be two things. First of all, it's the people you work beside and the friendships you make that go beyond just day-to-day working relationships. So, those are, fantastic, and they're very, very important to me personally. Yeah. And then the other thing is, when you walk in a pub or you're in a supermarket and you see somebody pick up your beer and you're just, I did that. And it's not arrogant in any way. It's just, it's a real pride that something you have helped to create, something you've played a part in, somebody thinks that that's good enough for them to spend their money on.
For sure,
and you just, I get just a huge degree of self-satisfaction. You've brightened somebody's life. It might only be for 10-15 minutes while they're drinking the beer, but
10-15 seconds with the long
so those would be the two main ones for me.
That's awesome.
And obviously, speaking earlier, how you said you're finding more of your beer going south of the border. It was actually down to Tom that introduced me to Broughton Ales.
Originally, it was Old Jock. That's the one for me. It's kind of the only one I can get really in terms of shops, but in terms of the kind of local places, but what a beer it is. But it's opened up like a whole world of amazing beers, and we've covered a few on the show, and we'll be covering another one come this episode. So I think that goes to show, it says a lot about the range of beers for sure.
Yeah, well, Old Jock's very much been the beer that it's done exceptionally well in the last 2 years during lockdown. It's a incredible great beer. We gave it a bit of a makeover a couple of years ago. That was quite funny, and we made one or two adjustments to the character in the front. Somebody actually sent us a picture of the old bottle and the new bottle, and just had the tagline on it: "Old Jock is now a top shagger." And we thought, right, how do we use that in our social media campaigns?
We've not asked you to shout out your social media, or if there's any groups or other accounts you want to promote.
So if there's anybody who's interested in our beers, if you go along to our website, www.broughtonales.co.uk. Alternatively, go to thisyeargivebeer.com. That redirects to our website, and we have various sort of mixed case offers on there and such like. We include delivery in the price. We get it out to you next day, APC24. Twitter handle @Broughton Ales. We're on Facebook as well. We keep a bit of, there's a bit of dialogue and a bit of conversation goes on. And what we also try to do on Facebook in particular is, I guess because I've worked in the brewing industry so long, we try and put the odd interesting story in there. So one of the ones we put on, we've got a private Facebook group for people who are interested. They can look to join that, just 79 Club. And I told the story on there recently of the kicker. And people who are listening will be aware that when beer comes back from a pub, there's generally a bit of sediment or even some beer still in the cask or keg, and brewers are allowed to reclaim the duty on that. It's a bit more complex, but they're allowed to reclaim the duty. What they obviously need to know is how much liquid is in there. And there's various ways you can do it, you know, just weights, all that sort of stuff. But there used to be a guy at the McEwan's Brewery in Edinburgh who had been there for so long that when the empty kegs come in, they would go along a conveyor belt and he would just kick them. And had been doing the job so long that he knew from the sound how much liquid was in there. So we put, you know, some interesting stuff, because I'm a great, I don't know if I could also give a small plug for an organisation, in fact, a couple of organisations, the Scottish Brewing Archive Association, which is based at Glasgow University, but they keep a lot of the history and artefacts from breweries in Scotland over the years, and you know, they've got tremendous stuff in there. They have the odd exhibition, and they're now trying to get a permanent home. So if anybody's interested in that side, Scottish Brewing Archive Association, you can join them as well. And then also, just a personal thing is I'm involved with a drinks charity called the Scottish Licensed Trade Benevolent Society. It's just known in Scotland as the BEN. It's been on the go since 1864, so it's got a fair amount of history to it. And basically what that charity does is it raises money to help people who worked in the drinks industry, who have maybe through working in smoky pubs got health problems with respiratory, or they've got arthritis through lifting kegs and stuff like that. So again, if I can give a wee plug for that one as well, just Scottish Licensed Trade Benevolent Society, you can Google and you can check them out. They're there, and it's a great cause. And it's supporting people who will have served you in a pub, who will have, you know, helped to get some of those beers that we're also fond of, you know, in days gone by, so that you have the chance to enjoy them.
That's brilliant. Yeah, guys, make sure to check out everything that David has just listed.
I'm going to talk about your social media again, because I'm a big fan of it. Like, whilst it wasn't good at the time, but those photos of the flooding at the brewery was, God, I'm taking this in positive spin, but bloody,
it was hilarious. Like,
come on, isn't it great? But it makes for some great social media.
Yeah. So these are the ones in. When was it? December? No, it was earlier than that. It was November. So where the brewery lies is we're on a floodplain, so it's a middle of a couple of valleys, and as a result, what we do is we protect ourselves by, during the winter months, we keep all the stock 3 pallets high. So we've got 3 pallets underneath any stock. So that if there's any flooding, it doesn't get in, it doesn't damage the beer. But it's you know, bloody worrying when it happens. But it's interesting because there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to stand and watch it. And when it happened this time, we thought, right, well, let's have a bit of fun around this. So we did the stuff around Noah's Ark, and you know, the beers 2 by 2, and we kind of used the HOPO character to tell a bit of a story. And fortunately, in this instance, the river went down the stream went down pretty quickly. So it was away after 3 or 4 days. We didn't have any problems with electrics or anything like that.
That's good.
We just got to check the brakes and the vans and the forklifts and all of these sorts of things.
You have to come to work in your waders.
Yeah, you have to come to work in your waders, indeed. So, but the way that the actual brewery is laid out is the actual brewing area where we have the mash tun, the fermentation vessels. They actually sit, I don't know, probably about 2 feet above ground level. So we're never at any risk of the actual production equipment being flooded. It's, you know, warehouses and stuff like that. So, and it's just it just becomes part. You know, I'm a city boy, but you learn so much about the countryside and the people the people there. So we get bad flooding. It's almost like the 7 days of the week. 7 colours of the rainbow. They happens every 6-7 years. So the last time it happened was 6 years ago. And what was so interesting for me was it literally happened about 4 weeks after we bought the brewery. So you're thinking, we just bought this brewery, we're flooded. Oh shit, here we go. This is it. It's the end. But what I love to see is the resilience amongst all the team. And I don't like to use generalizations. It's about folk who are from rural communities or the Borders community, but they just got on with it. And for me, it sort of captured the spirit of almost our brand Old Jock. That people just got on with it. There was no fuss. There was no drama. They got their wellies on. We dealt with it. We moved on, and there was no history. And that was just that spirit, that community spirit. You cannot capture it. You try and capture it within a bottle in some ways, but it was just so lovely to see.
Well, other than 5 feet below water, where's the strangest place you've seen your beers pop up?
Goodness me. So one of my colleagues, a couple of years ago, she climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. And so she took a bit of branding up there with her. So I don't think she took any bottles or cans, but there was a bit of branding for Broughton made its way to the top of Kilimanjaro. And then occasionally you just see some stuff crops up. My son was on holiday in a very sort of bodega in Spain, and they had our beers from all throughout the years in there. So you just see some wonderful things. And there's a lot of people in the States with the surname Broughton. So very often if they're over here, they'll take a bottle back with them, and they send photos, and so you got all sorts of different ones from different areas.
You've not had an email from Jock Broughton demanding free beer?
No. It's we want to get into the States. It's a difficult market in terms of exporting, but we've been working away on it for a couple of years. I think we might get it away this summer, but it's
that'd be great. Yeah.
And to be honest, if we just get everybody in the US called Broughton to buy one beer, that's how we can go on after that.
Joe CK Broughton.
Yeah, that's all you need.